Security of lives and property remains extremely important to my government. That's according to the Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde, who has declared that the Oyo State Security Network, codenamed Operation Amotekun, has come to stay in the state, adding that the outfit will not be under the control of federal establishments. On the show today, I will be asking the special advisor to the Oyo State Governor, Fatai Owoseni, who lives in Ibadan, the state capital, what this means in the face of increasing crime cases in the southwest of the country in a seeming security frost. Data feeds are coming through in one place simultaneously on all our social media platforms, on channelstv.com and on youtube.com/channels web. You can follow us on Apple, Android, Fire and Roku TV as well. Be part of the show. Tweet at Gimbo Umar CTV. Use the hashtag State of the Nation. It's prime time here in Lagos. State of the Nation starts now. Welcome everyone in Nigeria and the rest of the world. I am Gimba Umar and this is State of the Nation. Governor Seyi Makinde of Oyo State has addressed chairpersons of the 68 local government councils, development areas in the state at a meeting held inside the House of Chiefs, the Secretariat in Ibadan, in what seemed to be a final solution to the kidnappings, the banditry, robbery, ritual killings recorded in the state. Let's get the answers from Fatai Owoseni, who is the special advisor on security to Governor Seyi Makinde. He joins us via Zoom from Ibadan. I want to thank you so much indeed for coming on State of the Nation at this time. Since its establishment, this is what we know, since its establishment on the 9th of January 2020 by the 6 state governors of the Southwest, including Lagos, Oyo, Ogun, Ondo, Osun, and Ekiti states, how prepared is Operation Amotekun today to tackle the kind of crimes recorded in Oyo, particularly, and the Southwest in general?
Good evening, Mr. Gimba, and good evening, viewers. As you've said, security and tackling security issues and crimes are things, the strategies are all inclusive. It is not what one institution or one agency can do. And that informed the setting up of the different state security state network, which is codenamed Amotekun. Virtually almost all the states that are involved have the different laws that have set them up, and all the states are working towards operationalizing them. Some of the states have rolled out. The states that have not rolled out are in the process of rolling out by enlisting eligible hands into that formation. So that's the situation at the moment.
Now, when your principal, Governor Makinde, said this initiative that Amotekun is here to stay, and then saying it will not be left in the hands of the federal government, that happened just barely a week after the government approved 13.3 billion naira to fund community policing. Help us make sense out of this, if you will. Some people believe that there is a correlation. Is that the case, in your view?
I would like to make an observation. Everyone has turned to security experts nowadays. It's true that my principal, His Excellency, the Governor of Oyo State, had made that statement. And what I understand by that statement, and of course, what the statement means is that the Oyo State Security Network, we discharge our responsibilities in accordance, in tandem with the law that established the Oyo State Security Network. And so it will happen in all the other states that are involved. There is an enactment that has been made. And in the enactment, how it will be run, it's been clearly stated. What the command structure is going to be like, it's also clearly stated. So what His Excellency means is that, yes, an agreement, a convergence of opinion that led to the agreement that was made is that each of the states would enact a law on how to run it, on how it will be structured. There are two things here. People are confusing the initiative of the federal government on community policing with the different state security network that are set up. There are two different things. The initiative of the community policing, which of course to some of us that have served before is not new. I would just say that the federal government is just trying to relaunch community policing. Community policing is not anything that is new to some of us that have served before. That has been used as practice. That is, we've had officers that piloted it before. What some of us are concerned about is not reinventing the wheel, to look at the way it was done before, the initiatives that have been done, what's made that initiative not to be sustained, and what can we inject into it. So having a community policing initiative is different from the different state security network that have been set up, which is also set up under specific laws, which has clearly stated how it's going to be structured and what they're going to do.
Okay, I've since been joined in the studios here with me in our Lagos studios by Mr. Oladende Ario. He's a security expert. I would like you also, Mr. Fatai Owoseni, to listen to what his submissions will have to be this evening. Now, there are security challenges. We know about that. We've had that discussion on this platform severally. But in Oyo State, to be particular, in Okeho, the other day, armed robbers went to rob in that community, but community people in there went ahead to apprehend the robbers. They went into the forest, combed the forest, got the robbers out. Is there a sincerity of purpose from the government, do you think?
Well, it would be uncharitable if we wholesale should say that there is no sincerity from the government. But the truth is that the present Nigerian police network has not succeeded in delivering qualitative and quality policing to Nigerians. Hence, we've been having all the challenges we've been having. Now, it became an issue because the primary goal of any government is to ensure security of lives and properties whereby citizens can achieve their visions, missions, and goals. So to that extent, there was a lacuna. The Nigerian police, as it is, has largely failed to secure the people the way they would have expected.
Is Amotekun
now,
the answer?
It is not. It is not. Listen,
the answer
now,
this?
it's not due to any fault that can easily be attributable to a particular person, either the governor or the president. But you and I know that over the years, we've had this blame game. Police is underfunded. Police, they don't have enough numbers, logistics, and all of that. And then we continue, in that situation until it became a critical point that instead of asking for more schools, more hospitals, and better roads, the people were now asking for security. You understand what I'm saying?
So
now, to that extent,
will Amotekun cut this?
Amotekun will have to. And if you have been monitoring them the way I'm monitoring them, they are achieving goals. And I'm going to tell you this, in a few months' time, when we meet again, we will review these things, and they will not, we must score them very highly.
Okay, let's get back to you, Mr. Oshani, because it's getting even more interesting now. What's the plan for the successful takeoff of Operation Amotekun? The governor himself has admitted that Oyo State, in his words, Oyo State is very large in terms of land size. We are more than all the states of the South East Nigeria put together, so we have a lot to do to protect the state. We have international borders, so there is smuggling taking place. That's what the governor says. They killed a customer, a customs official rather, in Saki a few days ago. Those things are not acceptable. That's what the governor says. So what's the ultimate plan to ensure that things like this don't happen with the instrumentality of Amotekun?
I want us to get something right. And I'm talking with full responsibility and, of course, the fact that I'd served in the police before. Um, I would not also believe 100%. There is no one size fit all when you are looking for solution to security challenges and crime. The society is dynamic. As you, in those days, it used to be people stealing bicycles. Then we got to people using gun to rob, and we got to people kidnapping people for ransom. So the society is dynamic. There is no one size fits all. And I won't want us to be under any illusion that Amotekun is the final solution to the security challenges of this country. I won't also want us to believe that community policing is the final solution to security challenges. The dynamism of crimes and solutions to them would not agree to that position. However, what we should be talking of for everybody that has a role to play, the community, that is the members of the public, the state actors, that is the conventional security agencies, the non-state actors, who are the people who fall within the realm of community partners, who fall within the realm of Amotekun. Everyone has to live up to its obligations. I would also not subscribe, yes, my friend had mentioned that the blame game must stop. We must look at what is it that has made police to not to deliver 100%. Is the solution proliferation of security agencies? Is it by condemning the police or whatever? We should sit down and agree that we want a police that will work. If the police does not work in any country as it's supposed to work, we would not be able to tackle crime problems and criminalities. So those are the things we should be talking of. Amotekun is taking phases, just like in every other part of the country. You have civilian JTF in some other part of the country. So it is similar to that. Whatever
What are your
intervention
thoughts, though?
civilian JTF.
What are your thoughts, though, on the community policing strategy? Do you feel that the structures are right and ones that will, guarantee success at the end?
I have seen the policy guideline that is given out. Inaugurating state advisory committee, area command advisory committee. But I will continue to emphasize for records. And if people like us that have served before did not say that, it will be as if all of us lack institutional memory. Community policing is just one method of policing, and it is not new. I served in the police, and I had full participation, partnership of the community in discharging my responsibilities, formally launching community policing. Different governments have come and launched it in different ways. The Nigeria police, of course, even had officers that were trained. I was, as the chief superintendent of police, I was among the people that was trained as the first set on training of trainers on community policing using the United States model. Later on, we adopted the UK model. Officers that are still serving now, some of them, there is the retired AIG Osteniwa, who was CP community policing. If we didn't have community policing before, we would not have a commissioner in charge of community policing. Pilot states were selected, and it culminated in the intervention of DFID, coming up with guidelines on voluntary policing sector. So it is nothing new in Nigeria. It's what I would advise is that we should go back, do institutional memory. Don't let us reinvent wheel. What made it not to be sustainable? At a point in time, we had an administration that came up
I'm afraid
with
that's a good place
to
let it rest at this time. I most sincerely thank you so much indeed for joining us on State of the Nation. Fatai Owoseni, Special Advisor on Security to the Oyo State Governor, Mr. Sheyi Makinde. Many thanks indeed for talking to us. When State of the Nation returns, we'll focus on efforts of the Zamfara state government to curb trans-border crime. I still have my guests with me in our Lagos studios, Mr. Oladende Ario. Join us again. Welcome back to State of the Nation. The governor of Zamfara State, Mr. Bello Mohammed Matawalle, is partnering with the government of the Republic of Niger in order to strengthen security in Maradi, that's a border town between Zamfara State and Niger Republic. Speaking after a closed-door meeting with the Prime Minister of Niger Republic in Gusau, the Zamfara State capital, the governor maintains that there is need to enhance border security and intelligence sharing among security agencies in both countries to help reduce the influx of criminals into Zamfara State.
What the residents of the state expected first is the security. And, building this confidence between the Niger Republic and Nigeria and Zamfara State in particular, because we have a common border. So we discuss intensively about the management of our borders with the Prime Minister in his capacity as the #2 citizen of the Niger Republic is going to support the state in order to have curtail most of the security challenges that are bedeviling the state, particularly those that are coming from Niger Republic. So that is what we actually discussed. And he promised us that we are going to see results with immediate effect. We need to share intelligence between the Niger Republic security and Nigerian security. And as a state governor, I'm going to support the security of Niger. In fact, I pledged 5 vehicles for them, trucks, so that they can be able to be monitoring the border, so that they can do a border patrol. We are going to have a partnership between the Zamfara State and Niger Republic, particularly in the issue of mining, which we discussed with the Prime Minister. The Zamfara State government and the Niger Republic are going to have a partnership so that we can see how to diversify, particularly in mining sector, which we are going to sign MOU very soon.
Well, if you know Zamfara State, then you know that it's been in the news sometimes for security reasons, predominantly, and how they've been able to, harness that and to try to tackle all of that. But joining us from Gusau, the Zamfara State capital, is the special advisor on media to the governor of Zamfara State, Zailani Bappa. I want to thank you so much indeed for joining us on State of the Nation. How important is this partnership on border security? The governor said that predominantly is going to focus on mining relationship, mining partnership, to try to stop those kind of banditry and attacks that we've seen in recent times. Could you tell us more about that?
When he came into power, the problem of the president was foremost in Nigeria, but within very few months, he quelled all this down and he brought peace into the Zamfara State society. So the most important thing governor decided to do was to ensure that the steps he has taken to bring the states, especially Katsina, Sokoto, Kebbi, Kano, Kaduna, because these are the states where also banditry is also taking its on top. But the meeting, which was so that all the governors can come together and discuss this issue at length, so that we can bring this banditry to an end. And in his own effort to do that, he even transcended the borders of the security agencies there with our own security agencies, which was very important because of the cross-border traffic of arms and ammunition, which is fueling the crisis within this northwestern states, especially Zamfara. And we didn't know that these people and the Prime Minister of Niger decided to give a visit to Zamfara State upon the invitation of His Excellency to come and discuss further on this issue, because when the Prime Minister came, he spoke about the problems Niger also is facing, which has to do with the border countries, especially where the problem of Mali and Burkina Faso is now having its great toll on them, and also the Boko Haram from Nigerian side. So when he came, Governor Mohammed Matourle decided to discussed this issue with him at length, and it was realized that these bandits use now cameras to bring in weapons into the country because of the pressure they are getting from the security agencies in terms of coming with vehicles. So Governor Matole decided now to contribute his own quota by giving 5 Hilux bonds to help security and surveillance so that all these bandits and people who are selling the weapons through Niger Republic can now be apprehended. And
okay,
course,
if I could just chip in there, because there has been this advocacy for the application of technology, if you will, technology at border areas with other countries. Is that an option for Zamfara State in partnership with Niger right now?
Yes, this is an option that already Governor Matole has started taking steps over. Today, he has installed very sophisticated CCTV cameras all over Gusau, the state capital, in terms of testing, so that when it works well, it will not be replicated on all the flash points in all the 14 local governments of the state. This CCTV camera is so sophisticated that it can now bring the object it is focusing.
Okay, let me put you, because the connection is really muffled at this point, but let's come back to the studios where Mr. Oladende Ario is still with us, a security expert. Thank you for staying and being patient with us to try to get the views of what the government is doing in Zamfara State as well as the previous government in Oyo State. But now he has said that they have got sophisticated technology application to try to see that banditry in Zamfara State is reduced to the barest minimum. They've not practically stopped at the end of the day. Do you see this as a strategy that will work successfully, considering the complexities that we have along the border areas in northern Nigeria bordering in Tunisia?
Now, I know that Nigeria has over 1,500 unmanned borders. I know Guzo, I know Zamfara State, I've been to KB and all those axes. But to the extent that they are managing or not managing their security trans-border, I may not be able to know. But I can tell you that trans-border security transcends CCTV and those, I call them handheld security gadgets, okay? It takes a lot more. It's like trying to protect crude oil pipelines or petroleum pipelines. It takes a lot more beyond CCTV. Well, if in their own wisdom, they
Is that
think,
because of the presence of gold there?
yeah, because the people are coming in to harvest gold, and illegally for that matter. Now, apart from people coming in to steal, kidnap, and get into castle rustling, majority are coming in for gold. To that extent, they have a bigger problem on their hands. But the question is, who sat down to come up with a strategy that, well, felt the biggest way to go or the best thing to do is to deploy CCTV, okay? We're talking about trans-border crime. America and Mexico comes as a very ready example. It became so bad that President Trump was threatening to build a wall, okay? I know California very well. I've been to Tijuana, the border town between the U.S. and Mexico. But he said he was going to build a wall. That gives you an idea of how serious the situation was. Okay. So I don't see us winning if all we are relying on are CCTV and all those handheld technologies.
Okay, I'll take that as your final words. But let's come back to you, Mr. Zailani. You've heard what Mr. Oladende Ario said. Are you absolutely sure that this strategy that you're deploying, getting CCTVs to be part of the monitoring system at the border posts or the border area in Zamfara State to stop this banditry from, they come in, the attack, and then go out? Are you confident that this will work? Because he's having reservations about that.
Let me tell you that the Chief of Army Staff was here, the Inspector General of Police was here, all the security chiefs were here on an assignment from His Excellency, President Muhammadu Buhari. And when they came, they were shown how His Excellency Governor Bello Muhammad Machole has employed this especially new technology, and they all endorse it. Let me just give you a little explanation of how it is going to work. I was making an explanation when you cut me off. The CCTV camera is not simply the ordinary ones we used to put in hotels and so on and so forth. This CCTV camera can take an object 9 miles away from where it is, and it can even narrow down, if it is a car, for instance, it can even narrow down to the number of the car where you can even take it. And it is going to be networked from 9 miles to another 9 miles, and exactly that is how we want to cover it for all the 14 local governments in the state. And of course, there is the central office where all these things can be monitored, and it is linked even to the system of His Excellency. Wherever he is, he can monitor his state everywhere with these cameras. I'm very confident that it is going to add to the efforts that government is making and security agencies are making in curtailing banditry and other criminality in this area. But to add to what he has said, it is not the only method the government is employing and security agencies are being supported by the government to employ. We are also employing other kinetic and non-kinetic approaches, where the military are using intelligence, the military and the police are also using the equipment that are being provided by His Excellency.
That would be a good place to let it rest. I most sincerely thank you for explaining into details how this structure and the strategy will work, deploying technology to the border areas between Zamfara and Niger Republic. Many thanks indeed. Zailani Bappa is the special advisor, media and publicity to the Zamfara state government. Many thanks for talking to us, as well as Mr. Oladunde Ari. Always a pleasure having you to analyze these issues on security with us here on State of the Nation. And to you for being part of the show, many thanks indeed for watching. I'm Gimba Umar Tui. Come your way next time. Bye for now.